Members, parents and students are upset tonight over the firing of a very well-liked high school principal. The Colbert County Board of Ed voted to fire Melcha Satchel after a hearing this morning. WAFO 48's Aria Pons was at that hearing. She spoke to community members and the school board's attorney. Aria, what's the reasoning behind this firing?
There's a lot to unpack, actually, to explain to you from what happened to today's hearing and what actually led up to this. This all stems from a situation that school board members and the superintendent say that Principal Melcha Satchel did not handle correctly or according to their policy guidelines. Satchel says he was just trying to do what was best for the student, and then he added that Superintendent Hand didn't even formally reprimand him before firing became an option.
He's done an excellent job.
Community members gathered outside starting at 5 Friday morning for Melcha Satchel's hearing. That was 3 hours before it began. They say their beloved principal has only ever tried to protect the students and the community.
The community is behind him, the parents as well as the students, and that was obvious by the way the students waited outside as well as the parents in support of him.
Superintendent Chris Hand says a student was found with alcohol at prom on March 22nd and then sent to alternative school for 30 days without a board hearing and without telling the superintendent. Both are required by school policy. Hand says he wasn't notified until 17 days later.
I advised the board last week that they did not even have to do what they did today, but they wanted to give Principal Satchel every opportunity to be heard.
The school's attorney, John McGee, says this hearing was to give Satchel the chance to share his side. Satchel says he was protecting the student who comes from a bad home life. He wanted the student to finish out high school and not be pressured to drop out. He says Hand is firing him over personal and political matters.
You saw the board took the recommendation for termination and approved that.
The board voted 4-2 to fire Satchel. Community members are outraged.
I think this is a pattern of discrimination within the Colbert County school system.
Satchel says he had no dealings with the student at the event. He says he was only made aware of the situation and tried to reach out to the guardian of the student that he knew. The student was driven home by another student. The board says they also saw liability in that.
Satchel has 10 days to appeal the board's decision. If he does not, at the end of those 10 days, he will officially be fired. As of right now, he's on administrative leave. If he does appeal, then that will then go to a circuit court where a judge will preside over the case and decide what happens next. I did reach out to Satchel's attorney to see if they do decide to appeal at all. They have, again, 10 days, but he hasn't gotten back to me just yet. Reporting live in Colbert County, Aria Pons, 48 on your side.